Hello there everybody, Fata and before we actually begin the next video of Fata Morgana, it's time for us to announce the winners. Now then, what is the winner of the first reaction series? Was it Code Geass? Was it another? Was it Erased or was it Fate Zero? And the winner is... wow. With a total of 98 votes altogether, the winner is Code Geass with 43. My goodness. Well then... wow, Fate Zero got really close, though. Oh, I just realized 43 and 34, they're just kind of switched up there. That's nice. Alright then. Well, there you have it. The first winner is, Code Geass. Excellent. I just gotta figure out where the hell I'm gonna watch that. Next up, what shall be the reaction series to Mob Psycho 100, Saga of Tanya the Evil, Serial Experiments Lane, or My Hero Academia. Although, I have a very sneaking suspicion I already know which one's going to win. Also, just as another healthy reminder, I used a randomizer to make these lists, so both of these voting polls are 100% fair. And the winner is... My Hero Academia, with 27 votes and a total of 68 votes. Oh, wow. I thought... interesting. Saga of Tanya the Evil and Serial Experiments Lane were pretty close together. But, well, looks like the two reaction series I'll be doing are My Hero Academia and Code Geass. I just gotta figure out how to do the order. Also, to answer a question about this, yes, this technically means there's going to be 4 reaction videos a week. Because I think somebody kind of said it would probably take forever to get through 2 shows. So, this is more or less an experiment that I'm doing. I don't know, this is just more of an experiment. To see if I can manage my time properly and pump out at least, 2 videos a time. So basically, if this works out properly, Wednesday we will have the first episode of Code Geass and My Hero, and then the next day will be the second episode of Code Geass and the second episode of My Hero Academia. If, get what I'm saying? But anyway, those are the winners. Code Geass and My Hero Academia. Now then, let's actually get jumping into our next episode of Fata Morgana, shall we? Hello there everybody, Fata and welcome back to the house in Fata Morgana. Now then, not too bad. I'm kind of glad you guys actually liked the better voice that I did for Yukimasa. Thank you. It's much easier on my throat. Anyway, last episode we finally learned about Jacopo's tale, and well, shit. This does have a good. This story is making a good job of making me understand. Is doing a good job of making me understand a lot of the characters and why they've done the things they've done it. And what they were thinking, and even what they were feeling as they did it. I'm liking that it's doing a very good job at, fleshing out these characters. But, my god, Jacopo. Also, quote of the last episode, knee deep in dick, my god. Oh, that was weird. The darkness parts and we re-emerge in the dining hall. The man is still straddling me, dagger held above his head, just as he had been before our trek into his past. His eyes are open wide, and his hand is trembling. A few moments later, his fingers go slack, and the blade slips from his grasp, piercing the wood floor by my face. Hey, what was that? I swear, I saw some kind of black cloud or something.
What happened to you two? Neither of you saw any of that?
Saw what?
If you didn't see anything, then don't worry about it. The necklace. That must have been the key to unlocking his memories. Like when I touched the mirror in the mansion. I have no idea why certain objects show me different memories. But I got what I needed, I think. I'm fairly certain the white-haired girl is Morgana now. The things Jacopo did to her and felt for her behind the third door have much in common with him and Morgana in this life.
Why did you dig that up? How the hell did you do that? Why did you show me my former self? Why did you make me watch that?
Why didn't you tell her? Had you only opened your mouth and told Morgana the truth, told her you weren't the previous lord, told her who you really were, things could have turned out differently.
Turned out differently how? Knowing would have only worsened her pain. Yes, you're exactly right. The man who once saved her life is now the source of all her misery. How would knowing that do anything but cause her more despair?
The least you could have done then was let her go free.
I had already put money into setting up the church here. Her arm had been cut off. There was no turning back. You can't go back from that.
You could have, yes. You could have stopped then and there.
Don't act like you know anything. You couldn't possibly comprehend the weight on my shoulders, you dirty peasant.
You're right. I can't. And I'll be damned if I want to. To hell with understanding the feelings of a man who could so easily lose sight of what mattered most for a little power. Money. Power. That's not what you really wanted to hold dear. So why couldn't you let go of that? Why did you have to go and let what mattered most slip through your fingers? Had you done anything, it wouldn't have had to come to this.
I couldn't have people knowing where I came from. I needed...
Wealth? Rank? No. You didn't need any of that. Do you have any idea how much Morgana treasured her time with you and Maria? Do you know how she described that period as one of the brightest chapters of her life? Those 3 years she spent at the brothel, until it was attacked. She said that was where she had learned how to find joy in life.
Enough. She would never say any of that.
Why do you refuse to believe me?
She never opened up to anybody. That's all just your fantasy, what you want to see in her. You're trying to convince me of something that was never there.
No, I think he's right, Lord. I believe she did feel that way. The day I killed that carriage full of slaves, 4 years ago. This girl you're talking about, she was there.
What? That can't...
And she said this to me before I began my massacre. I'm sad because I didn't get the chance to show my gratitude to people very dear to me. She was crying as she did. So that's who she was talking about. It was you.
There's no way.
When exactly did the brothel attack 4 years ago take place?
It was the winter.
I see. Winter 4 years ago is when I met the girl, too.
That reminds me. She mentioned something unpleasant happening to her 4 years ago during one of our conversations. That she was forced to part ways with the people who taught her that humans are capable of kindness. She was talking about you.
There is still time. You can still set Morgana free. You can still reveal your true self to her. She was likely in shock that day, not seeing or thinking straight. She still thinks you're someone else. Hearing you were the Lord, it set something off inside her, preventing her from seeing who you really were. Her time in the previous Lord's captivity left scars even deeper than she knew. So all it took was that one word. And in her eyes, you became him. Which isn't to say you haven't caused her much pain yourself, but I still believe your truth is the key to allaying her hatred. It will change her perception of the world. I'm certain of it. So please, release Morgana, and spill your heart for her.
I was planning it to end it all with the Harvest Festival.
What?
I was already planning to set her free then. I knew damn well it was much too little, much too late. But I needed an excuse to face her. Some occasion to give me that last nudge. So I told myself, that's going to be the day. That's when I'm going to do it. But you had to show up out of nowhere, digging up my past. Throwing all my plans out the window.
You still think I'm the reason you carefully laid plans fell apart?
I'll let her go during the Harvest Festival. Tomorrow she goes free.
Tomorrow is too late.
What difference does it make?
When the bell tolls noon on the day of the Harvest Festival, Morgana dies.
I've had more than enough of your soul count prophecies. I'm done.
Why do you still refuse to believe me? I'm not making anything up. I'm from the future. I know how this ends. Having an occasion and a plan can certainly make it easier to take action. But you can't just wait for the right occasion for everything. Sometimes, if you don't act on something as soon as you've decided to do it, you'll miss your chance. In your next life, you make the same mistakes. You lock someone up that you care about, eventually causing her to break down entirely. And you're so fixated on waiting for the right occasion, you completely destroy any chance of salvaging anything. If you're set on releasing her, then release her! Jacopo! Stop being so damn fixated on your occasions already!
Enough. Damn you. You're right. You don't have to tell me I'm being a fool. I'll do it. Right now. I'll do it. I'll release her. Well, that's good.
Thank you for making up your mind.
I didn't make the lock require 3 keys, because the weight was too much to bear alone. It was because having others with me would force me to keep up the Lord facade, to prevent from letting anything slip. Or maybe I was just waiting, hoping someone would betray me, make me pay. Pathetic, I know.
You can have the necklace. It belongs to you. Though I doubt Morgana will accept it, I hope you'll attempt to give it to her yourself. Will you do that?
Where did you get that anyway?
From Maria.
I thought she would have thrown it away, thrown it out by now. I assume she doesn't think very highly of me. Be honest with me.
She was planning to kill you.
Ah. Maybe that would have been for the best. To her, I'm nothing but a power-hungry traitor. The necklace. I'll take it.
Here you are.
Wow.
When he takes the necklace, Jacopo looks as though he's on the verge of tears. Whether from the pressure of not wanting to lose face, or simply because he's no longer able to. He doesn't actually shed any, though. The other two just stand and watch him quietly. Neither of them saw the vision of his past, but they don't pry either. Our exchange was probably sufficient to give them an idea of what happened, even if they don't know the details.
Oh, and one of you guys did kind of bring this up. I really should have taken notice of this, how this, this suddenly happened. But, I mean, it was repeated throughout the story that the mansion responds to the desires of either the master or people in it, I guess. So as soon as that necklace came out, Michelle was able to make the mansion kind of respond and basically force Jacopo to finally accept what he did.
Clutching the necklace in one hand, Jacopo takes up the head of the procession to the observation tower. And while it lasts but for a brief moment, I see an image of the young man he used to be in his slightly slouched shoulders.
Oh, here's my favorite theme playing. Even though it still just brings me to tears every time I listen to it all by myself, I admit. 1, 2, 3.
They each insert and turn their individual keys. The lock disengaging and the door giving a deep groan as it swings open.
Hey, Morgana.
Beyond it, a spiral staircase extends high into the sky. Every time I've climbed these stairs, it's always been a solemn affair. And now is no different. I've succeeded, though. I've got them all here, ready to set her free before she's supposed to die. I have changed the past. Giselle. Can you hear me, Giselle? I made it in time. Now Morgana doesn't have to die tomorrow. I did it. Giselle.
With me. Come on. Do you guys hear talking behind the door?
Is there someone else in there with her?
That couldn't be. It's only Morgana. Stay with me, please. Come on. You can't give up now. What the? Oh, be quiet. As if you have any idea what I'm going through. Of course I do. Wait.
No. Standing before the door at the top of the stairs, a chill runs down my spine. Before I have time to consider what might have caused it, my body moves on its own.
Was that Giselle beyond the door?
I shove my way past the other men and push open the door.
What would Giselle be doing in here? If it is her. Oh my god. Oh. I know. I'll come up with something pleasant. To take your mind off things. I'll come up with a story. A story? How about this? A dove flies in through the window up above, a piece of parchment tied to its leg. It's a letter from the prince of a neighboring land. You read it, and then you write a response. I don't respond. After exchanging letters back and forth for some time, the prince comes to find you. I'm not going to fall for your stupid fantasies. Holding on to something, even a fantasy, is better than believing in nothing at all.
Wait a minute. Is it possible that Giselle and Morgana are the same person? How would that be, though?
I don't want you to give up hope. The baseless hope only breeds despair. Not that you would know that. Besides, if anyone's going to come for me, I don't want it to be a prince. There's only one person I want to see.
We're all stunned into silence at the scene unfolding beyond the door. Morgana is having a conversation with herself. This does answer the question of who the white-haired girl is and where she came from. But I can't. This is just... No one should have to go through this! Their mind has split into two.
Oh, Morgana, it looks like you have visitors. They're here to take my blood. They've got no use for me anymore. They're here to kill me. Oh, don't be so negative. Look, there's someone new. Kill me. Just set me free already. Oh, God!
Morgana. Oh, whoops.
Morgana, you know what my wish is? Kill me and curse. Put a curse on them. Come on, Morgana, look up at them. Your letters, they made it. I never wrote
never wrote any letters. He's got long white hair as white as snow and eyes like rubies. He's beautiful, like an angel descended from heaven. An angel.
Morgana, I've come for you, Morgana. Come to set you free. Would you please undo her shackles, Jacopo? As you say. Oh my god. Morgana.
Angel?
Can you hear me, Morgana? At long last, I have the chance to hold you while you're still alive. I'm here to get you out of this tower. You have nothing to worry about anymore. You can go outside again, see the sun. You can go back to your old life.
Angel.
Morgana.
Angel.
No one's going to hurt you anymore, Morgana. And the three of them by the door. None of them had any malice for you.
Angel.
You're free. You can go free again.
Angel.
You can have a normal life. No one is going to take any more of your blood.
Angel.
Please, Morgana. Please stay with me. Don't you want to leave this place? I'm going to set you free. I'll take you back to your cottage by the lake. I'll get you medicine. I'll help you with anything you need. If you want to go somewhere far away, I'll take you there. I'm begging you.
I waited so long for this moment.
Morgana.
I've been waiting so long for God to send an angel. Are you an angel? Are you an angel sent to deliver me from this place? Please deliver me unto my Father's presence. I can't go back out there. I can't live in the mortal realm any longer. I don't want to. There's only one place I wish to go. Oh, holy servant of the Lord. You are an angel, aren't you?
Morgana.
Please, deliver me from this place.
Yes, that's right. I am. For now, yes, I will be. I am the Archangel Michael, sent to deliver your soul unto God the Father, your angel. I have descended from heaven above.
It's wonderful.
Morgana.
Is Father, is he proud of me?
Your Father, the Lord Almighty, is exceedingly proud of the great work you have done in His name.
Thank you. It means so much to me to hear that. I couldn't be happier to be able to return with you, to see him.
Morgana. Morgana! Morgana!
Fuck! Damn it!
My body goes limp in my arms as the last of her life slips away.
God.
There should have been more than enough time to spare, but still I failed to save her life. At the very least, I hope I was able to provide her some comfort in her final moments. I'm allowed to think that, aren't I? We were too late.
But why? Wasn't she not supposed to die until... That's what you said, isn't it? That was how it was supposed to happen, right? So how come we still didn't make it?
Why didn't you do anything? Why didn't you just let her wither? Why did you just let her wither away like this? Why? Answer me!
I have no answer for you. I had no idea she had deteriorated so badly.
We should take her outside. Then you can atone for your sins. But first, we need to take her body somewhere clean. Death does not mean you are free of pain. We need to ensure her soul can depart in peace.
You won't see me objecting.
You need to say now what you were going to say to her. You must let her know the truth.
She's dead. What good will it do to reveal my feelings now?
Are you really that dense? Of course it'll do good. Her physical body may be dead, but her whole soul is still here, watching everything, listening to every word you say.
I don't believe in souls.
Well, I'm begging you to change your mind. Let Morgana hear what you have to say. Don't let her soul seethe in hatred. Please. I'm begging you.
Okay. Morgana. I am not the Lord you knew. The man who pushed you through that hill. I killed him. I'm the man who freed you from his grasp. I'm the man who spent the next 3 years with you. We were poor, and food was scarce, let alone good food. But those were happy times. Just about every day, I'd come to rub ointment on your face. I'd tell you to look at me, and you'd reluctantly turn my way. I used to think a lot about the face you'd make when you finally gave in. And then there was Maria. I can only imagine how obnoxious you thought the two of us were when we were in the same room together. You sitting off alone while me and Maria go at it, not making a peep, me always trying to sneak glances at you. There's so much I never managed to tell you, and I hate myself for being too weak to put any of it into words. I could apologize, but I doubt you'd forgive me. And I don't want you to either. I just want you to know that this isn't how I wanted things to turn out. What I wanted more than anything was to show you the world. But instead, all I managed to show you was the inside of a cold, dark tower. Not the beautiful, unimaginable wide world outside these walls, but a tiny, filthy corner of it. I did this to you. I took everything from you, when I should have given you everything. However much you hate me, I deserve every last bit of it, and more. I was ready to pay with my life, if that's what you wanted. I was ready to do absolutely anything. This wasn't how I wanted things to turn out. I waited too long to bring myself to take action. Morgana, the man there. He told me you said the 3 years you were with me and Maria were the brightest days of your life. Well, they were for me too. I loved you. That's everything.
Did any of what he just said make it through to you, Morgana? I pray with all my heart that him opening up will have even the tiniest effect on how you feel.
Morgana, I also want to apologize for everything I did to hurt you. I feel terrible about it. I really do. And yeah, I know that's not enough to make up for what I've done. So, I want to make amends, whatever it takes. If you want me to give you my life now, I will. Or if you want me to spend the rest of my days paying for my sins, I can do that too.
I'm an irredeemable monster and a killer. I take pleasure in hurting people. You were right to be afraid of me. I am genuinely sorry for what I did to you, though. I never wanted to see you dead. Sorry. I can't come up with anything better to say.
Let's bring her outside. Would you carry her body, please?
You should be the one to carry her.
You're far better suited to the job.
My right arm is in no condition to be picking anything up.
I'll help you lift her then. You said it was my words she needed to hear most, but ultimately, it was you who saved her. And me, who made that necessary. She wanted to be delivered to God by the hands of an angel, so the angel here should carry her. I can't. It wouldn't be right. Please, won't you do it for her?
Very well. Jacopo puts the necklace around Morgana's neck, and then lifts her dead body off the ground and places her in my arms. He opens the door, heading the four-man procession out of the tower as he had it. I walk at the back of the line. Each step they take down the spiral staircase is slow and ponderous, as if weighted down by the knowledge of their sins. That they must make their way to the place they will make their atonement. I wasn't able to prevent Morgana's death, but I was able to uncover the truth. I accomplished something. The sum of everything I did these 3 days should be enough to change her heart, and change the course of their next lives. They should be able to avoid the tragedies I witnessed through each of their doors.
God, this is tearing me apart. When we step through this door and people see Morgana's body, we'll be made to pay for our sins. Ultimately, I'm the one responsible. So the two of you are welcome to stay behind. I'm coming with you. A girl died because of the things I did. I can't just pretend it didn't have anything. I can't just pretend it didn't have anything to do with me. No, I don't want to.
I never had any intention of fleeing. You may have been the one running the operation, but I did just as many terrible things as you.
Well then. Say, Michelle?
Yes?
I figure this is probably my last chance to say it. So, thank you for convincing me to hand over my key. For giving me the courage to open my eyes.
You always had the courage within you, Mel. You simply needed a little help finding it. It wasn't my strength that allowed you to take action, but your own.
You sure know how to make someone feel better about themselves. I'd like to be a little stronger next time around, if there really is a next life. I'd like to be strong enough to face whatever comes my way, to not run away or try to ignore it.
I have no doubt you will be. The trials you have made to face are great, and very few of them of your own making. Yours is a tragedy of circumstance, of feelings kept secret and in good intentions gone wrong. If you can face the problem when it arises rather than look away, I'm certain you can find your way to a better future.
You mean in my next life?
I do.
I'll trust you know what you're talking about then, and burn your advice into my soul. Don't look away.
Please do.
I'm glad to have met you. If there is a next life, I'd like it if we could be friends.
Just so you know, you'll never convince me to go on walks around a lake or take naps out in the sun.
What? Well, that makes you sound like a very gloomy, unpleasant person to be around. Just joking. Thank you.
You're welcome. You know, you kept telling me you weren't an angel, but you actually are, aren't you? I promise you I am a regular man. You told Morgana you were an angel.
I only...
Angels and demons don't get along very well, so I'd rather not run into you in my next life. I appreciate what you did here, though. I'll do my best to be more human next time. Please do. If I repeat to myself what you told me, that what I need most is restraint as I make my departure from this world, then maybe I won't forget it, even if I do lose my memories. Burn it into my soul. I rather like that. I think I'll follow the boy's lead there. That would be best. And I'll be praying that, even if you aren't capable of love, you will be able to live a peaceful life with a good woman who loves you. That you'll be able to make her happy by doing so. I still think she'd be better off never knowing me. Whether you want her or not, she's almost certainly going to meet you and fall in love with you. You know, now that I think about it, she's not as normal as I first thought. She's a peculiar woman. I can't say I disagree. Well, I guess this is goodbye then. That it is.
I know everyone else is doing it, but I've got nothing to say to you.
I didn't expect you would. Though I suppose I do have something I'd like to say to you.
And what might that be?
Be more open with yourself. If you had only put your feelings into words, things would have turned out differently, in both this life and your next.
Coming from you, a man who looks even more closed off than me, that rubs me very much the wrong way.
Do I really look that closed off?
In more ways than one, yeah. That part of me is deeply ingrained. You telling me to open up won't magically disentangle my personality and make it to be.
I don't think you're as twisted as you believe you are.
I'll consider it, if this next life nonsense you're selling is true.
Please do.
Lord have mercy, one hell of a man certainly busted his way into my life. The last thing I expected was for an outsider to be the one to get us to open that door. I know, crazy, isn't it? Impressive work for one man.
It was not only my doing. I had help from a number of people. And it was you, Giselle, who did the most in getting me here. I'm not as big a man as the three of you make me out to be. Before this, I'd lost so much. I felt utterly powerless. I was on the verge of abandoning all hope. But having the opportunity to meet all of you, to spend time with you and the people around you, it did a great deal to revitalize my spirit, despite the atrocities involved. So I thank you. I pray for your next lives may turn out better.
I suppose we should get going then. Off to pay for our crimes. To relieve her soul of some of its pain. And I suppose to make sure their next lives go a little better.
Let's. Oh my god, He places a hand on the large door, then takes a step forward. The door lets out a heavy groan, and moonlight slips through the widening crack. It's all over now. I did it. I changed the past. Whoa! Whoa! What? What the hell? Ugh! What I see beyond the door is not the nighttime courtyard. The sun hangs high in the sky, shining down on the blood-soaked grass. Why? What's going on? That's when I notice. The weight of Morgana's body is gone from my arms. And then... Out in the courtyard. Nellie. I see a flaxen-haired girl vomit blood and fall to the ground. A young man kneels over her and takes his own life. No. What the heck is happening? Did I fuck up? There are dead and dying townsfolk all around the nun. The swordsman is skewered as he scrambles to reach her, and at the door just to my back, Jacopo. The Lord lies unmoving, slumped against the wooden frame in a pool of blood. How can this be? We were all just talking not a minute ago. How the hell did we go from that to this? Why? Why, damn it? I changed the past, did I not? I steered them away from this outcome. I changed... Oh. That's what this is? As much as I don't want to believe it, it makes sense. The sense that something wasn't quite right I've been feeling ever since I got here. The darkness that swelled up when I touched the necklace. I was never in the past at all. This isn't the real world. It's the realm of the dead. The same domain in which the cursed mansion resides. Which is why, when I arrived here, something felt off. Because death filled the air. Somewhere deep down, I could sense the similarity between here and the mansion, that gathering place of departed souls. It was never possible for me to travel back in time, to exist and interact with the real past. I was able to summon the darkness because this isn't the real world, merely a reconstruction, a projection of their souls' memories. It was all set in stone long ago. None of the time I spent with any of them was real. Every emotional moment I thought I shared with them was all an illusion. None of my conversations, none of the smiles I managed to get out of them were real. I was never there. I was never present in the past with them. Oh my god. I'm currently some time after all that. Some time beyond the era Morgana lived. Beyond the 17th, 18th, 19th centuries. What I spoke of as their next lives was actually their past lives. All three tragedies. Our history. Immutable, irreversible history. There's nothing to change anymore. What then? Did I fight so hard to achieve? What did I accomplish by warning them of their next lives? By convincing them to endeavor to take different paths? Nothing? Was it all for nothing? I go limp at the sight of it all, dropping to my knees and sending ripples through the sea of blood. Morgana, the girl who called me an angel and asked me to deliver her unto her father, is still chained up inside the tower. What did I accomplish? What purpose did anything I do serve? Was it all just a big damned waste of time? But my cries go unanswered, simply fading into the dead air. Giselle, who kept me going for so much of this ordeal, is still silent. No. I did accomplish something. It wasn't a waste of time. Everything I did, it wasn't for nothing. I may not have changed the past, and I may not have stopped their tragedies, but I achieved something. I uncovered their stories. I learned the truth of everyone's involvement. You can't take that away from me! I know you're out there, Morgana. I know you've been watching this whole time. You know the truth now. I accomplished that much. That has to change how you see them at least a little. If the present Morgana has a change of heart, decides to let go of her hatred, then that should have caused the cursed mansion to disappear. Set their souls free. I'll take that leap of faith, that what I've done is enough, and make my way back, believing there's a future for them beyond their tragedies. I'm coming back, Morgana. I'm returning to that house. To that world of blackness seething with hatred. To my present. I'm going to try this once more. An honest attempt to really see you. To face you, Morgana. I'll be there as soon as I can. Kneeling in a puddle of blood, I turn my gaze toward the heavens. The searing sunlight is slowly eroded by darkness, and my body, mind, and soul follow soon after. I kinda had a feeling that there was no way he could have fixed that. I had a feeling. The bloody corpse-riddled courtyard dissolves. And I find myself once more in an utterly lightless void. I clench my teeth as hard as I can manage, squeeze my eyes as tight as I can, because that's the only way I can keep the screams back, the tears from spilling down my cheeks. Achievement unlocked, Deliverance. Damn. Michelle. Open your eyes, Michelle. Come to me. Whoa. What the? What? What? Wait, what the...
We meet at last.
What? Why is the white-haired girl here? Never mind that. Where am I? I was trying to get back to the mansion. How did I end up here?
Do you know who I am?
Of course I do. How could I not know who you are?
Splendid.
But what are you doing here? Why is there a sword in your hands? And why can I not speak?
I was able to return to this gathering place of souls thanks to your efforts. Your uncovering of the truth of those events that transpired so many years ago allowed me to remember everything I had forgotten. To remember who I am.
Remember who you are? You mean that you're Fata Morgana?
My apologies. Bringing your soul here without any preparation has left you in a bit of a nebulous state. But my heart told me I had to do this now. Though you have no voice, I can feel your presence quite clearly. O Michel, namesake of the great Archangel Michael and man of tremendous virtue. I have brought you here to ask for your assistance. I pray you'll be able to help me. My request for you is simple. Take this blade, and with it extinguish my soul. What?
What are you? Extinguish your soul?
I realize that it's cruel for me to ask this of you, and for that I deeply apologize. But I want it to be you who sends me off. Could you grant this girl her selfish request?
That's not why I sought the truth. Not because I wanted to see anyone extinguished, but because I wanted to set everyone free from the mansion's cursed bonds. Because I wanted to put an end to the cycle of pain and suffering. Because I wanted to save every last person caught in this tragic quagmire. That includes you. And you're asking me to eradicate your soul?
I must be destroyed. You can't tell me that after everything you've seen, you haven't realized that I have no place in their lives. While it's true Morgana wished for misfortune to befall them, hadn't been there, if I had not been there, none of their tragedies would have taken place. If I hadn't been there, the flaxen-haired girl would have been able to let go of her yearning for her brother. If I hadn't been there, the shipwrecked merchant's lover would not have lost her place as his tether. If I hadn't been there, the ambitious businessman would not have been betrayed by his close friend.
Why are you acting like this is all your fault? Are you trying to say everyone would be better off without you?
I was not a victim in the tragedies. I am culpable for them.
Culpable? Like hell you were. I saw everything from start to finish. You didn't intend for anything bad to befall anyone. You always acted out of the good of your heart. And you're trying to tell me that makes you culpable?
What do you say we answer one lingering question, Michel? The question of what I am. The explanation might be a bit lengthy, but I would like to share it with you before I depart. I was, as you ascertained, created by Morgana's mind as it broke down in that tower. I was born to be a receptacle for her pain, to ease her suffering. But there's more to the story than that, Michel. Upon her death, Morgana's soul was afflicted with great pain resulting upon the hatred and resentment she bore. The fact that she viewed herself as a saint only served to amplify that agony. Her identity as a saint gave her purpose in life, while simultaneously constraining her.
What?
A saint must put herself second to all others. She must be caring, generous, forgiving. And she must not bear any ill will for anyone. That was not how she felt deep down, though. She was not a saint out of the goodness of her heart. She wanted to hate them, but her identity would not allow her. Those two conflicting aspects of herself tore Morgana apart. She was unable to withstand it. So she took all her saintly characteristics and gave them to me, caring for others, putting herself second, being forgiven. And then she severed that part of her soul.
So that's why you always seemed so abnormally pure-hearted.
I was no longer a part of Morgana, but something entirely separate. However, I wasn't me yet either. When you came to the mansion and resurrected Morgana, you resurrected me as well. But I had no self at first. I was, I suppose, not much different than the particles of dust floating around the mansion. But eventually that dust gained a sense of self, taking form as a human soul, and descended into the realm of man and the fate which governs it. What do you think the first thing a new soul wishes for when it is born, Michelle? To live. I wished for a continued existence in this world, in a world where I was never meant to exist.
I've refused to accept that there's anything wrong with wanting to live.
I was supposed to remain within Morgana as a part of her. I was never meant to be a soul of my own. To become one was to turn against the laws of the universe. I wished to live, and Morgana wished to curse the three men's souls, though we sought after completely different separate things. Because we were once two parts of a whole, each of our wishes were shaped by the others. In order for an incomplete soul like mine to survive, it needs something to bind itself to the world. Something strong enough to prevent the universe from correcting the anomaly. And so the wish of that anomaly gave birth to yet another anomaly. A house that sat outside the currents of time. One that could descend into the mortal realm at various times and places. And it was that house that served as a tether for my soul.
You mean it wasn't Morgana's power that created the mansion? But your own wish?
And why did it have to be that house that bound me to the world? Because that was where she lingered, the girl from which I was formed. Which meant that my wish had the consequence of granting Morgana's with it. The house, having attained perpetuity, served as a place for those reconstructed by Morgana's curse to return to. Furthermore, my connection with her had another consequence. I was the one most affected by her wish. As much as I may have wanted to do good for them to be happy, my fate was dictated by her wish. In that position, my merely showing affection for anyone was damnable. Falling in love was an act of villainy. My very presence malevolent.
Don't say that.
I was the true witch, the true demon child.
Stop talking, please.
It should never have been possible for me to have a life at all.
Please, stop.
The universe must be returned to its proper state, Michelle.
Don't talk about yourself like that.
I must be erased, and Morgana's soul restored to its original form.
But why?
I do not belong here. I never belonged here.
What's so wrong with wanting to live?
The defect must be repaired.
You're not a defect. Damn it. Why couldn't I be able to get in a word in now at least?
The restoration will not be instantaneous. It took many, many years for me to be formed, and it will take as long, if not longer, for the process to be reversed. But her soul will eventually return to its proper state. And perhaps when her soul is restored, Morgana won't be a human. Perhaps she will be a butterfly resting upon the lip of a flower. Perhaps she will be that flower. Perhaps she will be the breeze in which the flower sways. But whatever form she takes, it will be her, whole and complete. With me gone, no more tragedy should take place. So please, take this sword and extinguish me. Put an end to this cycle of misery. I want you to be the one who does it. Please. Kill me.
Oh. Revolution.
I have one choice. But I bet you if I wait, it'll make me kill her. I bet. I'm gonna see what happens, because I don't want to. I can't.
You're asking too much of me. Yes, I want to save Morgana's soul, but do you really have to die for that to happen? Is there not some other way?
Won't you do this for me?
I cannot. I could never take that sword.
I know it's unfair of me to ask this of you, but I want it to be you. As selfish as a request it may be, I want the curtain drawn on this ersatz life, by the man I admired so deeply.
You admired me?
Let's talk a little bit about that admiration, shall we?
Okay.
And where I got my physical appearance. This goes back to when I was mere particulate matter drifting about the house. While I still had no mind of my own at that point, I witnessed everything that took place within that house. And in the moment of your death, Michelle, was I born.
You saw my death?
Your actions that day appeared to me as the very definition of selfless and honorable. Your life bare many similarities with Morgana's. You were both abused, imprisoned, called a witch. But while Morgana sought vengeance, you watched your own mother burn your crucified body, and you wished for release rather than revenge.
There's nothing honorable about that. I had just lost all hope for myself.
I expect you'll disagree with me. Say that it was a sign of your weakness. But that was not how I interpreted it. Self-sacrifice being one of the core characteristics Morgana gave to me, I was deeply moved. You didn't curse those who had wronged you in life. You chose your own destruction, and I admired that strength of spirit. That admiration helped to shape my wish, to determine the form I would take, the name I would have. That's why whenever I gained a physical body, it was modeled after yours, with snow-white hair and ruby-red eyes. Oh! Why my name was always Michelle, after the same angel from whom you took yours.
I'm in no way worthy of anyone's admiration.
My admiration caused both you and the woman you love a great deal of pain, and for that I apologize. But it also shows just how much I wanted to be like you. I would ask for you, if you would be so kind, to consider this a great favor for a starry-eyed little girl. A girl who quite literally idolized you to her very soul.
Don't.
I couldn't ask for a greater honor.
How can you tell me that?
Than to be erased from the world by you, my idol.
And then ask me to kill you.
Please, Michelle. Be the one to send me off.
Are you... okay? Okay, no. I refuse. I can't.
No matter how many times you ask, I can't kill someone who's told me they wanted to live. I know what it's like to wish for life.
I don't know if you've realized it yet, Michelle, but this is the first time we've actually met. The story of the fourth door was Morgana's creation, which means that until now we've never been in the same place while both aware of the other's presence. As far as you should be concerned, I am a complete stranger, yet still you hesitate. I'm glad that you're reluctant, but you've shown me enough sympathy.
I don't consider you a stranger at all. Indeed, this is the first time we've formally met. But I've watched you go through so much. I've seen you live 3 different lives. I've seen the impact you had on the people behind all 3 of those doors. You are in no way a stranger.
With my erasure, Morgana's soul will eventually become whole again. Her curse and the eternal cycle of agony it brings will be no more. When I am gone, everything will return to its rightful place. I implore you to not hesitate any longer.
Are there really no other options? Is killing you really the only way to make things right? To release everyone from this curse?
I'm delighted to have finally been able to meet you, the man after whom I modeled myself.
God!
I am incapable of taking my own life, Michelle. God's teachings prohibit it, and as such my identity as a saint prevents me from doing so.
No, I don't want you to commit suicide. I want to find some way for you to live, to remain a part of this world.
I know that by asking this of you, I am causing you great heartache, and for that I offer my sincerest apologies. But so long as I continue to exist in this world, Morgana can never truly have redemption. Tell me, who is it you've been fighting so hard to save?
That doesn't mean that I didn't want to save you too. I believed I could save everyone summoned to the mansion. That no one would have to suffer anymore. That there would be no more tragedies.
Michelle, take the sword, please.
Okay. Damn it!
No.
Worry not, Michelle. Doing this will allow you to save everyone. You'll cast off the darkness inhabiting the house, set all its prisoners free, give Morgana her salvation, and give me mine as well. Extinguishing my soul will be my salvation. I've had a full, satisfying life, even if every moment of it was rooted in iniquity. I had well beyond my share of happiness. I don't need any more. O Michelle, namesake of the great Archangel Michael and man of tremendous virtue, I ask of you to please draw this cycle of misfortune to an end. To take this blade and deliver everyone from their fates. It must be you, Michelle. You must be the one to do this.
God, this is too much! Are you kidding me? Oh my god, I can't even... Wait, what happens if I wait? I'm gonna see what happens if I wait. If nothing happens, then I guess I'll have no choice. I don't want to kill you. I don't. Oh, there we go. I have no choice, do I?
Thank you, Michelle, for having the strength to do what must be done. And I apologize for putting you in such a difficult position. Once my soul has been erased, I will be gone from this world forever. I will not return, not in this or any other form. I feel no woe in that knowledge, though. I welcome my destruction with the utmost of joy. However, if it wouldn't be too much to ask, for you to keep just a little bit of me in a corner of your soul, Michelle. To remember me, to remember the life I lived. That would make it all worthwhile.
God.
Thank you, Michelle. You may very well be a genuine...
The whiteness surrounding me evaporates, and I find myself back in the observation tower. I can still feel in my hand the impact of the sword piercing her breast. Damn it! Why? Why couldn't there have been some other way? Erasing a soul is not salvation. God damn it all! She deserved better. So much better than that. No, now is not the time to grieve. There is work to be done. A girl to whom I must offer the chance for salvation. I mustn't cry over the white-haired girl's death now. There are things I need to take care of first. Morgana. Morgana stands there, staring off absently into the distance. After some time, she slowly turns to face me.
What exactly was all that about? Come on, say something. Answer me!
Morgana.
How? It doesn't make any sense. He and the Lord, they couldn't.
There were two different lords. The one at the estate, and the one who locked you in the tower.
How? What was he doing there? That's not... I didn't... The man I was trying to curse was the Lord who threw the blood sabbats. How did I... Are you saying I remembered wrong? That's ridiculous. I won't hear it. I won't have it for a second.
You were in a very tenuous condition, Morgana. More than even you realize. You can't assume everything you saw in that state of mind to be true.
Why? Just why? That only makes it much worse! Why would he do that? How could he kill me? He said he would show me the world. I cried for him. And he turns out to be the one pulling the strings?
You saw what led to this. You heard what he had to say for himself. Misunderstandings that went unresolved. That should have been cleared up immediately. What he did was wrong. Indefensible as far as I'm concerned. Agreed. This all could have been avoided if he had told you everything. That said, Morgana, I can somewhat sympathize with how he felt then.
You can sympathize with that monster? In what way?
He loved you. Sincerely loved you. And to be the target of such vitriol from a girl he cared so dearly about, to be mistaken for someone else entirely, I can understand how that would have hurt.
It doesn't matter. That doesn't change anything. Like I said before you started all this, it doesn't change anything. Does this revelation change what happened to me? Does that make it any less of a hate-filled witch? What does it matter if he had his reasons? What does it matter if he's not who I thought he was? It doesn't change the fact that I despise him with every fiber of my being.
It's time to let go, Morgana. I met with the white-haired girl. I know her true nature.
That's not me.
You're right. I can definitively say that you and the white-haired girl are one and the same. However, I can say with certainty that she was a part of you.
I cannot definitively, sorry.
A creation of your broken spirit. The fact remains that she was closer to you than anyone else. In every sense of the world. Can you see the situation you're in, Morgana? The terrible, tragic irony of it all? You curse yourself along with everyone else. You brought ruin to a life of your own creation numerous times. You murdered yourself. It's time to let go, Morgana. There's only pain to be found in continuing down this road. Morgana. I take a step toward her, and she steps back, quietly maintaining our distance. I can almost hear trembling in her voice as she says,
Stay back. You. Stay away from me.
You have nothing to be afraid of, Morgana. I won't hurt you.
I said, stay back, you. I bet you think this is hilarious. That I'm blind and a fool.
Morgana.
Yes, good on you, my dear. You revealed my big secret. That I'm a feeble-minded little girl with a poor memory. You've uncovered the truth of my death. Discovered the white-haired girl's true identity. I was presumed she was you. How foolish of me. Laughing like I knew anything. Cursing the entirely wrong man. Absolutely brilliant, you might say. I'd made myself into quite the laughingstock. No?
I'm not going to laugh about your pain, Morgana. I've come to realize that perhaps I empathize with you out of more than just one of our shared loneliness. We were both yoked with unimaginable misfortune, lived our lives in lamentation of our fates. I understand your pain.
That boat has long since sailed.
You're right. It has. This is a realization I should have come to much sooner. Although you said it wouldn't have mattered, I still should have made an effort to get to know you in life. I feel guilty about how I constantly pushed you away. So, I'd like to make up for that now. I approach Morgana, hands stretched out toward her. She stands there bewildered as I place them on her shoulders, pulling her in. Not for my own comfort, as I had so many times before, and not out of some pretend sense of pity for a sad pile of bones. I embrace her, and all the pain and loneliness she holds inside. Her body gives off no warmth, and it's as weightless as the skeleton all those many years ago. She, like me, lost so much in life, but unlike me, she had no one there in her final moments. It's all right, Morgana. Everything's okay now. The tale behind the fourth door may have been a fabrication, but the creator's soul is always somewhere to be found in her creations. Knowing the inseverable link between her and the white-haired girl, that's where I'll find what I'm looking for. I'm here for you. You're not alone, Morgana. We can end all this suffering together. It's going to be okay.
What's wrong with you? Have you completely lost it? Do I need to remind you of everything I've done? Of all the pain I've caused you?
No reminders necessary. You did quite a number on me, indeed.
Then do you want to tell me how we went from that to you holding me?
You didn't do what you did out of a particular grudge against me. Of that much I was always certain. So I hold nothing against you. I bear no ill will. No, I'm certain does Giselle.
You're much too forgiving.
I imagine there's something about having experienced the kind of pain we have that makes it hard to harbor any ill will toward one of our kind.
Shared trauma or not, you and that woman really are something. God, there are no words for how much you irritate me.
The bite slowly drains from Morgana's face, and in the quiet I think I hear a muffled attempt to hold back a whimper. I pull away slightly, putting a hand under her chin, lifting her head. She quickly averts her eyes, but doesn't knock my hands away as I reach them into her hood, gently setting them against her cheeks. I run my fingers across the exposed flesh, then slowly pull back the hood covering her face. Well, look at that. You're quite pretty without your face hidden.
I didn't think you were the flattering type.
I assure you I'm not. Go on, touch your cheeks. Oh! Now this is the girl you were always meant to be. If Morgana had had less of a harrowing life, this is probably what she would have looked like at 16. You know, you look a little like the white-haired girl.
We look nothing alike, I can assure you of that. She was the very antithesis of me.
But she was also once a part of you.
The last thing I want is to be like her in any way.
And why is that?
Because I never liked that girl at all. Always putting others before herself. Just watching her was aggravating. Although, in retrospect, she was everything about myself I deemed unnecessary. So that might explain why it was so hard to watch. Also, I was so sure she was you, which made it all the more frustrating.
Why would her being me bother you so much?
Because that wasn't you. You're aggressive, you yell, you fight.
Is that how she saw me?
How wouldn't it bother me that you came back as a quiet, passive, subservient girl? Of course, now I know that it wasn't you. So...
You were that sure it was me, despite thinking we were nothing alike?
Apparently so.
Hold on a second. Why would that bother you?
I'll let you figure that one out. It's not important. So, you've got my attention. What are you planning to do now?
To leave the mansion with you. To set everyone free and break the curse. Setting them free will set you free as well.
So you want me to release their souls?
Exactly.
Just so you know, I haven't forgiven them. My hatred isn't going to just vanish like it was nothing. I'll never be able to forgive them completely. But, you're right. This has gone on long enough.
Morgana.
I'm not even sure what I'm doing anymore. And it's all your fault. So, sure, I'll release their souls.
I'm so glad to hear it.
However, I don't want to see them alone. I'm not sure I'll be able to set them free if I have to face them on my own.
That won't be a problem. I'll go with you. We'll go see them together.
You get to be my guide this time, then. Get to take up Giselle's old mantle.
That I do.
You Even if it means taking this hand. It's a very pretty hand.
You honestly think I have any reservations about that?
God, I swear. You really are the worst. Lead the way, my dear, to where their souls wait.
Damn. Okay, I know we're probably getting near the end of this, but this is probably I'm gonna have to probably leave this for the next episode. I'm sorry, I've actually run out of time. Oh my goodness. Well, regardless of the fleshiness, she actually looks pretty in both forms.
She's got a very pretty little skeletal hand, too.
She's beautiful no matter what people say! Oh my goodness. This is taking its... Okay, in a good way, this is taking its toll on me. Like, this is a fantastic fucking novel. Pardon my French, but my God, the amount of emotion built into it is just so... Oh. I have this feeling that the next episode is probably going to be the last one. Just that feeling, but... Oh... There's probably only like 5 minutes left right now, but I'm sorry, I've run out of time. But oh my goodness, this does a really good job at really tugging at the heartstrings. And I love it. This novel is like really freaking good. Oh my god. But anyway, I'm sorry, that's where I'm gonna have to end it. So if you guys like this, be sure to let me know. I am really, really sorry. And if you got, like I said, if you guys like this, be sure to let me know. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in probably the final episode. Possibly, maybe, maybe not.